Hi, I'm Campbell Conti and this is my monothematic publication, Designing a City's Soul. This project explores how visual identity, culture and emotion shape the modern city, specifically through the lens of Melbourne and Copenhagen. I wanted to understand how design gives cities personality and soul, how branding can move beyond logos to capture lived experience. On the cover page, I included an image of both Copenhagen and Melbourne at similar viewpoints along the river to kind of show how they can blend into each other but still be their own separate identities. I chose a bright, bold blue color and accompanying with white text, which started to introduce my type system. The table and contents page, I started with a full bleed image of Melbourne City's city laneway, just to get the audience involved into the atmosphere and emotion of these cities, and also continued my type system in the table of contents, and also aligning with a set gutter line to kind of establish the margins and guides that will be consistent throughout the whole publication. This publication opens with the theory behind place branding. Cities today compete for attention the same way brands do, and this section explores how identity is built through meaning and behavior, not just visuals. Here I reference thinkers like Simon Anholt and Kaplan, who discuss the emotional dimensions of city brands, traits like sincerity, competence, excitement, sophistication, and ruggedness. Visually, I represented these ideas through typographic systems and minimal graphics that map out city personality rather than traditional infographics, keeping the tone restrained and analytical and modern. For this page here, decided to show the more human side of each city with juxtaposing images. This one, of course, of Copenhagen with people enjoying their street life, and this one, of course, of Melbourne with people commuting to work or to their destination, and just showing how people really make these cities what they are and bring the emotion and feeling to them. The next chapter focuses on Melbourne, a city defined by creativity and change. The M identity, designed by Landor Associates, forms the heart of this story. It's not a static logo, but a living system that adapts across colour, texture and form, reflecting the city's rhythm, from laneway art to public transport and culture. I showcased this through layered imagery, full bleed photos of trams, laneways and signage, and bold typography using TWK Everett. The spreads move from structured to expressive, mirroring the ideas of a city that's dynamic and human. I also included Melbourne's voice and governance system, showing how tone and messaging unify departments while staying optimistic and inclusive. This spread here I thought was really beautiful, and the image linked really well to the text that was provided in the publication, which spoke a lot about how a city is built on expression, and it's the feeling and the personality of the city that defines kind of who it is and how the brand is represented. And this image of a vibrant laneway with lots of people and lots of art and quite a grungy artistic culture, I thought really represented that well. The second case study shifts to Copenhagen and its localhood for everyone campaign. This section contrasts Melbourne's visual energy with Scandinavian restraint. Copenhagen's identity is minimalist, calm, and deeply human, focused on empathy and participation rather than promotion. I use quiet, spacious layouts and a muted Nordic palette to convey that warmth and restraint. To convey warmth and restraint. The spreads focus on how the design language, colour system, and imagery of everyday life reflects shared values and calm confidence. A little bit more on my type system. As you can see, I'm using TWK Everett Mono as the subheading and TWK Everett Regular as the main body copy. I thought these were two very complementary fonts. Of course, they're from the same system, but one being more mono spaced and geometric and technical, and one being very contemporary and progressive in the traditional sans serif typeface. And then accompanying this was my page titles and numbers, which are of a much reduced kind of size, so that it doesn't take away too much from the main content on the page. And of course my captions continue this same reduced size, so it had less emphasis, and that was also helped by a lighter shade of grey. The final chapter, Two Cities, Two Souls, compares Melbourne and Copenhagen. Melbourne thrives on expression and motion, while Copenhagen succeeds through empathy and consistency. I designed this section to feel balanced, just like this spread, where I used two juxtaposing images of each city and representing each different style and identity of each city, and also doing the same with the text, where I could include the main heading of this section, the subheading and the body copy on this set column, and then following it on the other side with the remaining text and the caption to create nice symmetry and balance, and allowing this negative space on the edges of the page to allow the content to breathe. Both cities give equal visual weight, showing that connection, not competition, defines identity. The closing reflection designing a city's soul ties the publication together, exploring how branding can act as translation, turning stories, values, and culture into something visible and meaningful. I end on the idea that cities are not built from concrete, but from stories, and designs help tell them. And that's reflected in this spread by more close-ups of the people who are a part of these cities. For example, this full bleed image of a blurred male in Copenhagen, which tells a story of him and his life and what he might be up to. And of course these two girls in Melbourne who are going about their days, enjoying time together, and just shows how so much life happens in each of these cities. Through this project, I wanted to challenge the idea of branding as marketing, instead showing it as storytelling. Every design choice, from the flexible grid to the type hierarchy to the tonal contrast between cities, was aimed at reflecting the duality of expression and empathy. This project helped me refine my approach to publication design, finding structure through clarity and emotion through type and image. Thank you very much for your time.